Welcome back to another episode of Fishing is Therapy. It's time to get that therapy, boy. But in a slightly different way. Hey guys, it's Chris. I'm back here with another video, guys. This time is on the 2-year update of the Pelican Catch Mode 110. Man, I bought this kayak back in August 2023. It is now, by the time of this video, it'll be August 2025, guys, 2 years. And I really want to show you guys how this kayak has held up. I don't want to clean it up. I don't want to doctor anything. I want to show you in its raw. So I'm going to flip this kayak over when we start this video, and then we're going to see how it dealt on the bottom, how it got scratched up, how I torture test dragging this thing up and down hills. Everything that I put in this kayak, that it has evolved over the time. So we're going to see our before, and we're going to see our after. Guys, it's going to be really in-depth so that you can make an informed decision if you want to buy this kayak. If it's a kayak you've already bought, you want to see how it holds up over time. If it's an overall good investment. Well, we're going to find out and answer all those questions on this episode of Fishing is Therapy. Without further ado, let's jump in. Man, let's get this thing flipped so we can expose her truths. Very easy to flip though. All right, guys, let's take a look. Let's get in here and let's see. The one thing, look at this kydex. Look at this. So what I did is, remember, it's the tape. It's 3M Gorilla tape underneath here. It's just layers of it, like one strip, one strip, one strip. All right, after I heated the kydex, I put it on there with the tape, stuck it on there, pressed it, had weight sitting on this, and then I siliconed around it. Okay, so the only areas that I seem to have bow in sometimes, because this sits on my roof rack. On that roof rack up there, those bars, when it's heavy and it's hot outside, it sits on those bars up there, and then it creates a dent right here when I strap it down, okay? Once I pull it and I strap it down, it'll have a little bit of a dent, but look, once you take it off, it settles, it comes off. So all you see is some superficial scratching. My patch, my gator patch stayed on. Look how worn it is. This is dragging it up and down steep hills, but look how everything is held up. Even the transducer. I know a lot of people wanted to know about that transducer. Look at that. It's not even scarred up like that. I'm dragging this thing up and down hills. Look, a little bit of silicone leaving right there, but it didn't stop. It didn't go underneath. No water intrusion. All my stuff stuck, and look at how I drug this kayak. And it's a very, very, very durable kayak, guys. So I just want to show you what you can get for your money. It's a really nice kayak, durable. Like I said, look at how beat up that thing is. And I'm dragging it, guys. I've drug it up the boat ramp, but I drag it down the hill, a rocky, sharp, jagged hill, which is why I put that kydex on there, because I knew the abuse I was going to put it through. But after 2 years, look at how well that thing is held up, guys. This is a really, really durable kayak. At the bottom, I love it. It even, look at even the damage on my sticker, my Fishing is Therapy, how it's drugged through there. Messed up my logo, but kayak, still sturdy, and it always bends back into place. So I'm gonna turn this thing back over, and we're gonna have a look at it as I put items on. We'll talk about it. Guys, let's start at the rear of the kayak, all right? I had a lot of people ask me this question. You know, why didn't you go with the transom saver that comes on here? This one that says compatible, right? Why didn't I put the transom saver? Because I didn't want to lose my skeg, guys. When I had the trolling motor in the rear, I took this skeg, I put the trolling motor in the rear. That's why I put these mounts right here. These mounts, so that I didn't have to lose my skeg, because the skeg is very important when you have a pontoon style, because underneath it's like 2 pontoons in the back, and that causes it to sway. So I didn't want to lose that opportunity, so I said, man, I don't want to buy that part and spend $85 to buy this part when I can spend $60 and build my own mount that can be universal from the rear to the front. And I didn't want to lose that skeg. So I'm glad that I did that. I have my skeg still, and I have now moved my trolling motor from the rear to the front. I did that because I got the auto boat and I wanted spot lock. I wanted to be able to not have to anchor all the time unless I'm in a shallow cove. And I wanted to be able to have that spot lock, navigation mode, everything the auto boat offers, okay? And I knew that I would transition out So why spend 85 just on one part when you can spend 85 on a universal trolling motor mount that can go from the bow to the transom? That was my reasoning. So the skeg, guys, I've drugged this thing down the hill. Look, it's still here. Everything still works. All I did was add some bungee cord. So when I'm traveling, I keep this thing over here. So all I did was put a bungee cord underneath there, clip one of the other ends just like this off, burned it and melted it, put it underneath some pad eyes, and I hooked that right here so that it holds it while I'm traveling down the road. That thing is held up. This drain plug have had no issues with water intrusion, and I just put my drain plug down like that. I don't even think about it. I don't even have any issue with water. There's no water in my kayak, okay? You guys saw me flip it over, all right? Now we got the Kimimoto kayak safety flag. So there's rear where I have my rear trolling motor parts at here on my track mounts. I use Kimimoto's track mount. So I'm able to take advantage of this, and I have my safety flag in the same area. And I'm able to lift it up all the way so I have boat visibility from me, right? Make sure I'm safe on the water. And I can also push that same thing, take it out, and then when it's early in the morning or late in the evening, I have another, I kind of DIY this Atwood light right here, and I put it on my Kimimoto track mount. And I just use some zip ties on that. Kind of zip tied, did a little jimmy rig on it, guys. But it's telescoping as well. It goes up, right? And I just store this in the back of my kayak seat, and I'll show you where I put that in a second. But I can switch from kayak visibility during the day to low light situations, same thing, and put it in that same mount right there, look. Bam. And when I'm through with that, take it out, put it in the back of my seat, and interchange these two. So these are my two accessories that are very important, and they depend on the time of day. All right, guys, now let's take a look at that Newport Vessels battery box with the Golden Mate 100 amp hour battery. This is all I do when I get at the boat ramp. I'm showing you guys how I throw everything in here. I have the kayak set up like this. When I get on the water, put that back in there like that. I'll take off my skeg, flip that back into the water, put my battery right here, turn it around. And that's why I have that battery box right there. Then I'll plug it in. Bam, plug it in right there on the side. If it's nighttime or early morning, I'll turn on these little lights. These are some quick little waterproof lights that you get from Academy Sports. Those are just a little quick turn on. I just click them on, see? Just extra little lights right there when I'm dealing with this in the back. But anyway, guys, let's jump into this Newport Vessels battery box. One thing I just discovered about this, and I only had this for about a year now, right, is that this battery tester on here is not accurate for Life PO4 batteries, lithium batteries. So you definitely have to go ahead and I'm gonna have to install a shunt. I'm probably gonna cut a hole, put it right here, a shunt where I can have a battery indicator that's made for lithium batteries. So guys, I didn't know that initially. I just pressed it and I was like, man, my battery never is going down dying. But I bring it home and I just put it on the charger, so I never sweated it. But now I want to let you guys know, if you're going to get this battery box, it's a great battery box. You got the cigarette lighter, you got the USB, you got the breakers, you got everything on it, but it doesn't read the shunt. So I'm definitely going to have a shunt here, or battery indicator reader, okay? That's accurate for Life PF4. But other than that, the battery box has worked flawlessly. I worked this one with my new Surziki lithium battery charger. It charges great. No issues here, guys. Battery box is a battery box. Battery is a battery. I have no water connections or water issues. This thing has worked out tremendously. And all I do is bring it in here like this. I set it up, and then I'll have my connection like that. I'll just put it like that, okay? Because I usually have a cooler right here. And I put my cooler right here, and I have these straps bungeeing down my cooler lid. So everything is kind of secure right there. But I know if the kayak ever flips, right? Sometimes I'll do like that. If I know the kayak ever flip, this battery is not going to be held up. It's heavy. It's not going to do it if the kayak is underneath. So I already know that, guys. But anyway, connections are all solid. Everything works out well on that end. Now let's go ahead and get ready to add our seat, and let's talk about that. Here's the chair. This is how I carry it. I have my weight in the back like that. That's my anchor weight. I throw it down in the seat like that, and I just set it right in the back there. All it does, I just toss it right there, strap everything down. Of course, it's not strapped down because I usually just have it like this. Strap it down. Here you go. So I want to really zoom in on this. Some guys were worried about that UV affecting your zip ties. It hasn't affected mine. I put one all the way across because the one that's initially across was allowing the kayak seat to slip. back and forth within this 5-inch PVC riser. So once I put one across the bar, I never had any issues with slipping, and I've had this thing on there since. No issues, none of the zip ties has broken, no fail points, just a simple zip tie around that main bar and back around that PVC. And I did that all the way around, no issues. No issues all the way here with the anchor. That Velcro has held over 2 years. For the anchor is held. Haven't had to break the anchor, with just some little cheap zip ties so you can pull the paracord and break them. No issues there. Velcro is holding. I'm tending to like this kayak, but let me do something. I quickly forgot. I want to just touch base on this part because a lot of guys probably will ask. See, so this is my waterproof battery box, and inside of here is my Noco waterproof charger. And this charger is for, I put it right here, and it's for my fish finder. I put my fish finder mount here, but I interchanged that mapping fish finder off of my John boat to my kayak. I don't have it on here currently, but that's all I do is bring it and put the ball on here, and it's fine. But anyway, waterproof box, so I can have all my wiring settings in here. All my wiring here, I close that up. And this is one that you just put in your lawn when you want your hose or anything like that, or run wires where you don't want it to get. But that seal has held. All I do is put it back on after I charge my lithium battery. And that's a 10 amp hour battery. Put it like that. And then let's look at this transducer. This came from Navarre Kayak Fishing. And this is that transom mount. This is the transducer mount that you see at the bottom. I cut this bolt because it will poke into the bottom of my butt in the seat. So I had to cut it down. But that has held, guys. It hasn't moved. Water does come in here because of this hole. It's not sealed up. But very little water comes around in here, okay? And if it does, the most water, it actually comes out of this scupper hole plug. This is usually where my feet is at and where I'm pushing down the most. As you can see, where the water and dirt collection will be at up here, not under your seat. Not much water collection at all right here, all right? So I wanted to touch base on this box, and all it's doing is sitting down there with Velcro. And when I drive down the road, once I throw it on top of the kayak, on top of the roof rack, I just cinch it down using the strap for the seat, and then I hold it down, and it always lasts. I've driven 2.5 hours to locations on the freeway, interstate speeds, and haven't had an issue. So now let's get back to the seat. I usually sit in the seat like this. And only thing I do get annoyed with is my pliers, they come out. But once I'm in the boat, guys, I tend to just throw them underneath, use my scissors for whatever it is. My fish finder is right there. But like I said, the seat still holding, no problems with this seat riser. I love it. It allows me to be able to just, with no hands, stand up, right? Because I'm already high up from my height. I don't need to pull. But when the water is kind of shaky, this is where my pull rope comes in right here. And I have it wrapped around like this for travel, okay? This is where my rope comes. And I just pull it from the front right there, like that. And when I need to, I just pull and stand up. If I'm feeling a little shaky, or I'm standing up and I just have it up. But that's my pull assist to stand. The seat though, guys, super comfortable. It's still reclining back, see? Sitting up. I easily recline back. I'm usually sitting back, laid back, chilling like this, fishing. Fish rod holder right here, and I'm enjoying myself, guys. This seat riser has been a godsend. I thought I would be tippy. I thought I would be concerned about the height and everything like that, but I'm not. It actually feels more stable in this position, believe it or not, for me, because sitting low where the seat naturally sits, getting up, it's like a feat, and you tend to want to touch the edges of the kayak, and I can feel myself wanting to tip. Now, where it's this high, I don't even have to touch the kayak, I can just stand and sit. So guys, I love this seat. Trust me. I use everything for the storage in the back right here. See? I have my cutting board back here when I'm cutting up for my bluegills and fishing for gar. I put my kayak holder, my kayak stuff back in here. I have everything back in here. My light, when I'm not using it, it's also back in here behind that seat. And then when I get to a certain spot and my back is getting a little annoyed, I want to sit up and look around, I sit on top of it. It has not cracked, it has not broken, I have not had any issues with this setup, guys. I really enjoy this setup, but now we're gonna move forward and just keep talking about everything else on the kayak. We're almost done, guys, hang in there. But so far, so good. So I have a light in the front. Again, another one of those lights from Academy Sports that came in the package. I put right there, so when I need light within the area, right? Bam, got that light right there. Just some simple Velcro. Once again, it has not fallen off. It's been holding strong. Here's a rod holder. This is from Railblazer. I want to talk about the kayak tracks. I haven't had any breaking, and I've had some good fish, guys, on these tracks right here, and I haven't had any issues. But you know, my track mount, usually I'll get on here and I'll probably put it about right there, you know, lock it. And that thing is sturdy. I actually use this to strap down my kayak. I actually use my straps and they go across right here. And that's how strong this track has been, because it actually helps me hold my kayak down to the roof rack. But even my rod holders, Railblazer, guys, if you're thinking about a good rod holder, and I love these because they're so quick to remove and pop back on and adjust. I love them. That setup, my feet. Talk about my foot pedals. I have them all the way to the end, as you can see. I'm 6'2", okay? I don't know if I have longer legs than the average 6'2", guys, but I'm 6'2". I have my feet pedals all the way back, but I rarely use them. When I paddle, I do use them for my leverage, but when I have the auto boat and trolling motor, I usually just have my feet sitting out in the middle like this, guys. And I'm like this, or I'm like this, just hanging out. So the foot pedals, they have not broken, okay? I want to show you that, look. They still slide. They actually got cobwebs on them because I don't even use them. I don't even move them. So look at that. Still slide, unbothered, no pulling out, nothing. No issues there, nothing on the track. These are just my wires, remember, for the fish finder. When I put it right here, all I do is take that ball mount off and plug it right in, and this is out of my way. Cup holder mounts, still working. Handles, I drag this kayak up and down the hill using these. They have not pulled out. That front one, to help me pull up and stand up and assist, it has not pulled out. It actually helps hold my fish finder, my trolling motor mount. No issues here, guys. Look at all of this. I want to show you this traction mat right here. Let's take a look at this. Traction mat has held up. I thought it would start to wear out. I'm keeping it plain and simple. Look at the dirt. That's from all my worms, right? It has not lifted. No issues here lifted. No tearing apart. It's been 2 years of hard abuse. Look at the dirt on it. That means I didn't try to hide anything. I want you guys to know it. My mesh, where I put my waterproof bag, no issue, okay? This is what I do. I put in my waterproof bag, has my first aid kit, safety items if I need to start a fire in the winter, whatever I need to do. This is what I need. My gloves for gar, everything that I need, my scale, all of that in here. And I just grab it, tuck it underneath, and there we go. And I'm ready to rock, okay? This thing hasn't got caught. I thought it was gonna get, a lot of hooks would get caught in here. No, the fishing rod holder keeper hasn't come off either. That is a godsend, because when I bring my rods along right here, this thing keeps it. Like the way this is made ergonomically, it does not allow your rods to fall off like this. I thought it was gonna constantly get tangled up, but it doesn't. So I really appreciate that, guys. I really enjoy the craftsmanship of this kayak. It has been, like I said, I just don't have any complaints about it. It may sound funny, but I did a lot of research before purchasing this kayak, and I think that research paid off. I was very hesitant. I looked at a lot of pros and cons, and this kayak has more pros than any cons that I could see, because I've worked around all of them. So guys, I'm really enjoying this thing, but let's just touch base really quick on the trolling motor mount. I'm not gonna put it on right now because it takes a little bit of a second to do. I don't wanna take up more time. I'm gonna just talk about it, how it's held up and its durability. All right, guys, so once I get to the boat ramp, what I usually do is I use my T-bars, I put them into the track, and just to let you guys know, this track is still holding. These are riveted down, right? And it is holding, it holds this kayak strong. But all I do is put them right here. You actually see that marker right there, because that lets me know exactly where to lay my bar at to fit every time. So I just usually lay my T-track on like that. I'm not gonna do it all right now just to screw it down, because I don't wanna take too much time. But then I just screw everything on right there after I pop it through, okay? So that's all I do, pop it on. These things have held strong. I set it up right here, and I'm gonna show you the one addition I have added though. So then I set it right on like that, okay? And it just holds. It has not caused problems with the handle. I put some extra lights right here. These are my navigation lights. They all came in the pack. I got 2 white lights and a red and a green. I just Velcroed them right here to the wood, no problems. This mount is holding strong. Look, the only damage you could say is because of the paint starts to chip away at that point. But the trolling motor has worked well. If you look at any of my new and current videos, you'll see me pan fishing and out there on the water fishing with this, and this thing is working flawless. I like it. But the one addition that I have had recently, I don't like that when I'm out on the water, sometimes I get hit by a big wake, and the trolling motor tends to lift up and sway a little bit. So what I did to combat that is I use this bungee cord, I wrap it around, and it's hard to do while I'm on the video, but I wrap it around and it goes right here in that handle. A handle has a little hole to it, and I use that and I allow it to just hold the kayak down. See? And I just pull it around like that, and then I hook it. See? And it allows it to not lift up once I put the other one on. Okay? So that was my adaptation that I made because I didn't like how it lifts a lot like that. I was thinking about adding another track right here, but I don't know. We'll see how things evolve over time. I'll do a video if I do decide that. But so far, so good, guys. This thing is holding up. The wire connections have held. The bungee, the cord right here that we always worrying about wrapping around Auto Boat did not wrap. It doesn't wrap. It doesn't cause issues. It's not broken. I haven't had any issues with this trolling motor. I don't even think about my trolling motor when I'm out on the water. That's how comfortable I am with it. The Newport Vessels, let's take a look at the skeg. That's how you know I drag it. Look at that. Drug around, propeller still works. It's taking damage, but she's still running strong. Look at that mount. Auto Boat running strong. And all I do is just carry this and set it down, okay? Auto Boat remote, still running strong. It's only been a year since I've gotten this. Well, not even a year yet. It's been about 6-7 months since I've actually gotten it. Auto Boat remote, still working strong. Bungee, still working strong. Thank you guys for sticking in there with me, guys. We did a 2-year update. As you can see, this is a durable kayak. It's worth the money. Hard to beat for that price, guys. Everything you can get and the versatility to be able to adapt it. Whether you want to put your trolling motor on the back, on the transom, you want to put it on the bow. You have unlimited options with this kayak, and it's very stable, guys. Very doable products. Like I said, you guys didn't hear me say anything is broke, chipped, anything like that. It is held up. 2 years in the Georgia sun right now. It's already 90 degrees right now, guys, and it's 11 a.m. in the morning. So trust me, this is a really good kayak. Drop down in the comments, guys. Let me know what you think. Tell me about your kayak, your pros and cons, things I didn't cover that you like questions answered. I will answer your questions. Talk to me in the comments. I'll talk back. I appreciate everyone for the love, for subbing, for subscribing, liking, and for commenting, guys. It means a lot more than you know. I see you guys on another episode of Fishing is Therapy. It's time to get that therapy, boy. Peace.